little situation. It's not uncommon in a festival situation for people to get crushed like grapes up at the front. There's really not a lot you can do about it, because asking everybody to step back is not very potent of a solution. But if you could just bear in mind that you don't want to hurt somebody, that you don't want to inflict difficulty in somebody breathing in mind, and just change the whole vibe out there so no one's getting crushed.
12 months ago, on the same day, at roughly the same time, the Red Hot Chili Peppers had been faced with a massive crowd crush. The band, with years of experience on the festival circuit, handled the crowd well, with Anthony Kiedis offering a simple, calm message. Despite a lengthy stoppage, the Chili Peppers were able to finish their set without incident. At 9:15 p.m, 1 year later, Limp Bizkit play their intro theme and go straight into their first song, Hot Dog, as the crowd erupts in a wild frenzy. Down the front, 72 security and 12 medics face a massive cascade of punters over the barriers. At 9:23, the first signs of trouble emerge. A security guard gestures for the band to stop so order can be restored. 30 seconds later, Fred Durst tells the crowd, if you see somebody fall down, you've got to make sure you pick them up, because you are some crazy motherfuckers out there. Sadly, the only people picking anyone up are the security guards who dive into the throng. People are down near the front of the stage. A minute later, he speaks again. Looks like we got a little problem down the front. I told them before we came. Put Limp Bizkit and 60,000 Aussies in one place and this motherfucker's gonna go crazy. Security guards, realising the severity of the situation, yell at the band to stop playing. And Durst sees or hears something he doesn't like from one of the security guards. What did you say, you punk motherfucker? He says. What did that big faggot beside you say? This punk right there. Precious life-saving moments have been wasted. The majority of the crowd have not been told to step back. A security guard rushes to event co-producer director Vivian Lees, standing at the front of the stage. Durst talks to the crowd. Everybody be patient. Things are getting a little out of hand. At 9:27, Vivian Lees takes the microphone and speaks with obvious strain.
Please ask the audience to step back, be very gentle with the people around. There are some people down the front who are down. I ask you to just respect your fellow human being. There are some few people in trouble down the front. I ask you to just step back, take one step back, give the people at the front a room and a chance to get up onto their feet. Thank you very much. Please just a little time.
Photographers who have been allowed into the pit to shoot the first 3 songs are let out, shooting as they go. Off mic, Fred can be heard telling someone, T-barricades, mother, I tried to tell you. The barricades are used elsewhere in the world and have been used by AC/DC. They were not in the original security contract for the Big Day Out seen by Channel V, though had reportedly been discussed since incidents in Auckland and the Gold Coast. Having sold 1.5 million tickets to Big Day Outs over the last 10 years, the organisers have good reason to have confidence in their preparation. The front of the stages are lined with security, 2 deep. Limp Bizkit later claimed the security didn't know what they were doing. The footage shows there was nothing more they could have done than simply pull people out. Jeff Gray, Big Day Out head of security, can clearly be seen fighting the crowd off as bodies are pulled up. A distressed body is pulled out of the mass and laid onto the ground. Her pulse is taken and she is laid out to recover. At 9:29, 2 unconscious female bodies are pulled out of the crush. 15-year-old Ryan Keogh later tells the press, I was on the bottom, lying flat on my back. There was a big pile of people on top of me. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dead, that this was it. It was pitch black and I couldn't hear the music. The only thing I could hear was the bloke next to me screaming like I've never heard anyone scream before. Keogh said that he'd been trying to pull Jessica Michaelic up when he'd been knocked over by a crowd surge. As the lifeless bodies are pulled out of the pit, Peter Hoare, otherwise known as a serial pest and infamous for disrupting major events, leaps over the barrier wearing only a bra and carrying a guitar case, which he throws at the stage. Security guards divert their attention to Hoare and throw him out while others are fighting for their lives. By this stage, the crowd, unsure of what is happening, start a slow hand clap. Circle pits develop without the rhythm of music. A metre from the disaster zone, sweat-drenched boys run round in circles. At 9:30 p.m, Durst speaks again. After 7 minutes of pleading by Big Day Out security, he says, "Everybody take one step back, please. They're asking me to tell everybody, take one step back and we'll be able to have a big night out, I guess." 2 minutes later, the band launch into break stuff. The crowd lifts. In between songs, Durst asks, "Okay, for us to play another one?" as they segue into My Generation. At 9:43 p.m, there is a second stoppage. An irritated Durst speaks. "Hold on, we've got to stop for a second, guys. Once again, there's trouble down the front." He waits, then speaks again. "Do you know what's great about today? This is Limp Bizkit's last Big Day Out show, and we get to rock it with you in Sydney. We're going to have to depend on ourselves now. You guys have got to help one another out because the security here sucks. Let's help everybody out. Let's show them that we can do it because they sure as fuck can't do it. We told them how to do it. They didn't want to listen, so you guys look around. If you see anybody down, help them up. We can take care of ourselves, man." He pauses. "There you go. Now it's working. Now we're coming together." The crowd is restless. More circle pits start up throughout the crowd as males push each other around. 3 minutes later, American Voice off stage says, "Let's go home. We're all going home." The crowd is restless. 9 minutes later, a bullshit chant starts from the audience. Fred turns to a member of the Limp Bizkit party. "I'm waiting on you, Chris. I don't know what to do." Another American Voice can be heard. "Either sort it out real quick or we'll go back to our dressing rooms." Fire hoses are turned onto the audience to cool them down. Standing on the hill, police can be seen in conference side stage. Press reports the next day claim that the police had insisted Limp Bizkit play on to avoid a riot. At 9:56 p.m, Fred tells the audience, "Let me tell you one thing. Being in Limp Bizkit isn't that easy. Being you ain't that easy. With the world as crazy as it is, I suggest you do one thing. That's live your fucking life in the fast lane." In the next break, Durst gets all the girls to climb onto men's shoulders and offers this introduction to faith. "This is a dedication to all the ladies from us guys for making our lives miserable." In between songs for the rest of the set, Durst asks the crowd repeatedly, "Is everybody happy? That's all that matters." The band walk off stage at 10:42 p.m. and the search for blame begins. While not diminishing the responsibility of the band and promoters, Channel V believes that violent elements in the crowd are equally culpable for the events that took place.